I can see the light on the other side. Everything's gonna be just fine with a little more time.
Camilla!
Hey guys, it's Amy Park from Core Asian Media, and we are here today with director and actor Justin Chon.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming today.
Yeah, of course.
So it's really interesting how we live in a time where the presidential debate is happening, Black Lives Matter movement is happening, and the awareness of diversity in media is happening. And so your new film, GOOK, is falling right in the middle of all that. Can you explain why it's important to bring back an event that happened 25 years ago today?
It happens during the first day of the LA riots, and that was caused by, the Rodney King beating and the verdict that came after and the acquittal of the 4 officers, and 25 years later we're still dealing with the same thing.
Why do you think it's important to bring that film back today? What's the story that you want to bring about to the audience?
I want to tell stories that relate to me and that I find compelling. And this film, it happens on that day, but it's really a film about friendship and family.
This actually happened to your family. It's a true event.
Yeah.
Can you explain just like the aftermath and how your family dealt with it, or the stuff that you had to feel in that moment?
I think I was 11 at the time, and during the third or fourth day of the civil unrest was when we got hit. And my dad was, I just remember my dad not being home, and he was protecting his store. He was one of the guys on the roof with a gun and making sure we didn't get robbed. But eventually we got looted and just our place got destroyed. But that's basically what happened to me. 25 years later, I do understand, and it is important. I feel like art and film especially as a medium, is so great to storytell, but also, show how you view certain social issues and things that happen. So that's a big part of GOOK. My film is all about relationships. It's about, relationships between 2 Korean brothers and how they don't get along. It's also, there's a Korean liquor store owner across the street named Mr. Kim. It's the relationship between generationally, how older and younger generations, they just don't see eye to eye on anything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of miscommunication there. And also within the community, a lot of Korean Americans or Koreans immigrated from Korea, and that's where they inhabited.
It's really interesting. So your brother in the film is David So, and he's primarily known as the comedic YouTube person. So how did he get attached to the film, and how was he about transitioning from the comedic to the dramatic moments per se?
Before we shot, we rehearsed for about a month. We just really went through the scenes and we talked a lot, and even during the writing phase I asked him very personal questions about his upbringing and how he felt about certain things, and I tried to infuse some of that into the script. By the time we got on set, he was ready. The girl that we hired, Simone Baker, we found her at a community center in South Central. So, I really try to do as much as I could. I can't make everybody happy. There's gonna be people who are gonna get angry about all sorts of different things. The title.
Yo, what does that even mean?
What? Oh, GOOK? It just means, in Korean, it just means country. How I portray, like, African Americans, like, someone's gonna have a problem somewhere.
Why do you think it's important for people who are perhaps non-Asian to watch this film?
Our struggle for Koreans in the US, how is a Caucasian person supposed to understand that? Unless if I put it out there. I think film is such a strong medium, and it's really important that films with our faces, that isn't like making us out to be a joke, or even just like, not to knock traditional media, but like independent film is so great at being able to tell stories in a very unadulterated way. We have a Kickstarter campaign going on, and it's doing quite well, and we're really thankful and humbly just so taken aback by the community support. But one thing I really wanted to talk about is that, you know, we can complain like we're talking about, we can raise our voice, but when an artist is putting something out and there's some social relevance and value in it, this is where I feel that the community can really make a difference. So the plan for the distribution of this film is we're gonna submit it to all the festivals, so you know, that's not really our decision whether it gets in, but that'll be the first place you'll be able to see it, and once we do the festival run, you know, we'll see what our distribution options will be. You know, if you guys just keep following us, we have a Facebook page. It's at Birthday Soup Films. You can check for updates, and also our Kickstarter, you can check for updates there. If you guys can support our film, great, but not just our film. I feel any Asian American that you feel has a great message or good content, you really should consider, you know, helping them financially.